Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's been a couple weeks. We got something else to work on today. I've got a 2011 Subaru Forester with a 2.5 dual overhead cam. The complaint is no crank, no start. Or no, it cranks. It won't start. It doesn't sound good. Well, we're going to see that in a minute. So I'm going to get this battery installed and had to charge that. It's a wholesaler's car. Of course, it came with a dead battery, almost always. So I'm gonna get that battery installed, then we'll go inside the car and we'll listen to this and see what it sounds like and see what we think. Here we are inside the car. Um, I hope you can hear this. Let's hear what this sounds like. It's trying. All right, we're gonna do some hookups outside and let's see what's going on. It turns out we set a code. The code is P0345, camshaft position sensor A circuit bank 2. Well, we've got a new sensor out there. I'll show you that later. All right, so I've got a relative compression test set up here. I am currently hooked on the battery with the amp clamp. Ignore this lead. I've got the crank sensor here, right here, on this engine connector, and I'm in the number 1 coil down there. So we're going to crank this over and see what we have. The scope is running. The red trace is the amperage. The yellow trace is the ignition on 1. And the blue trace is the crank sensor. And I have that because later I'm going to do a crank and cam comparison because I'm sure this engine's out of time. All right, here we go. Sounds pretty terrible. Okay, so I've got this all spread out. I have 4 rollers here, these black lines, and they're dividing this up into 4. It just makes cylinder identification easier. As you can see on this cranking test, I've got good or high amperage, no amperage, no amperage, and back to high. So that's one 720 degree revolution of the crankshaft, which is this number 1 spark. Now I've got 2 spark events because the coils are fired in pairs. They're fired 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So I have a second ignition here. The second ignition doesn't, and to be honest with you, it's hard for me to tell if this is 1 or this is 1. They seem to be in pretty good time. They're right before the fire. The firing of the coil is right before top dead center here, and right before, well, a little bit further out on this one. Oh wait, oh, that's wrong. Let me move this. There, that's better. In the same place here. So it's firing close to top dead center. So I think on this side, this is on the right side of the engine, which is cylinders 1 and 3 on this Subaru, because it's a flat 4. And so I got 2 holes with bad compression. So I'm going to repeat this test on the other side because I need to see what. I think the timing on this right side is okay, but I think the timing on the other side is bad. So if the firing order is 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4, Then if I put it on 2, 1, 3, 2, wait a second, 1, 3, 2, 4. So really, my ignition, because I'm firing the number 1, is here at 2 where it's supposed to be. But what if I put it on the number 2 coil and do this compression test again? Let's try that. Okay, so I've got some things hooked up here. We're going to do a cam crank correlation. This is the new cam sensor I said someone else installed. We do have a cam sensor code. We have both of them. This is the right bank. The other one was the left bank. That's an old one. And then we are hooked into the crankshaft sensor there. And excuse me. We're going to see what's going on with the cam sensors, see if it's out of time, see what's happening. So we're going to go in here. You probably noticed that I changed up the scope. This is a different scope. I have some problems with my new scan tool, and I have to send it back. So we're going to do cam and crank. Now you see the blue and the green. Those the green is the left cam, and the blue is the right cam. The red in the center is the crankshaft. So what we need to do, we're going to crank this. And what I'm seeing here is that I've got, well, let me look at the voltage. I've got about 5 volts coming out of the camshaft sensors. That's good. That means that they both have the supply. They probably both have a ground. And let's see what happens. Okay, that ought to be all that we need. See if I can figure out how to stop this. Where's my mouse? We'll set that to pause. Let's see. We want to go back at least one page. There it is. Oh, okay, that's great. Ooh. All right, so this is the left camshaft bank 2. This is the one we're having trouble with. And you can see there's a lot of noise in there. It gets that from cranking and all that stuff. But there's nothing happening. It's staying right at the 5 volts. And if you look at the blue one, which is bank 1 on the right side, we've got some dropouts, which that's what's supposed to happen. Let's see if we can move this up a little bit. Because the crankshaft is a Hall effect, and it gets pulled to ground every time a post on the cam pulley goes by, so it gets pulled to ground momentarily. So let's see what we can do here. Yeah, this green cam signal's just staying at 12 volts. And you can see on the other one that we're going down to 0, roughly 0, all the way across. And it looks like, let me shrink this down a little bit. You know, it looks like we've got one lining up with, it looks like it might be in time, and that would be the right side. And we're concerned about the left side. Well, the left side is just sitting there, not doing a thing. So I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to wave a screwdriver in front of it because it's magnetic, and see if we can get a signal. Hang tight. Well, there's the cam sensor right there. So I got it pulled out and flipped over so we can access this. Let's go start the scope. And get rid of this. Okay, we're going to start the scope. And what we're going to do, we're going to turn the key on. And going back out here. going to take my screwdriver and I'm going to simply, you can hear like the spark plugs firing. Okay. Take a look. Struggling with pausing the screen. All right, we got it. We've got to go back a couple pages. There it is. Now, you can see, if you look right there, that is dropping down to almost 0. So that tells me that P245 code was a circuit code, and probably what's happening is it's not seeing this dropout, so it's it's staying at 5 volts. That might be interpreted by the computer as a circuit problem, because it could be shorted to 5 volts, and that would certainly be a circuit problem. So we got a good cam sensor, and we got something else going on. So I think I'm going to try to turn the engine over and look down the cam hole and see if it turns.
Ready?
Okay, so I've got the cam sensor out, and we're looking at the top of the cam. Go ahead and crank. Okay, that's good. That's good. So it's not spinning, so it's probably got a broken chain. Thank you for your help. Okay, so what do we know? We know that the camshaft isn't turning. We know that there's low compression by our relative compression test earlier on number 2 and number 4, and that is the left side. That's the side that isn't turning. So more than likely, the chain has broke or something, which is strange. This car only has 88,000 miles. So I've called my customer, and he's okay tearing it down all the way to the cylinder head. That cylinder head only. He doesn't want to do more than he has to do. So I'm going to tear that down, and I'll probably take a video, but not of tearing it all the way down. I'll probably make a shorter video of what I find. But for now, this is what I have. I want to thank you all for watching, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't like, tell me you don't like it. If you have something to say in the comments, please comment. I appreciate anything, good, bad, or anything else. So, all right. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.